Welcome to the Explainer. So, have you ever experienced that incredibly frustrating, just deeply universal feeling? You know the exact one I'm talking about. You're in an argument, someone puts you on the spot, and you just completely freeze up. Nada, nothing. Then, like 3 hours later, you're washing the dishes or taking a shower, and boom, the absolute, perfect, devastatingly brilliant comeback just hits you out of nowhere. It is literally so infuriating, isn't it? Well, today, we're going to fix exactly that. We're looking at a creator today who shared a deeply relatable story about this exact phenomenon. He talked about constantly freezing up throughout his life, whether a teacher suddenly asked him to stand up and answer a question, or during a heated argument with peers, or even just trying to approach a girl he liked. In the moment, his mind would just go entirely blank. But the really agonizing part? When he was totally alone later on, thousands of perfect words and incredibly sharp replies would suddenly flood his mind. Sound familiar? 12 years. Let that sink in. That is how much time this exact communication freeze cost him. From childhood right on through college. Just because he simply couldn't speak up when it really mattered most, he ended up having a distinctly average college life, lost out on earning respect from his peers, and entirely missed out on relationships. And the crazy thing is, it wasn't about a lack of intelligence at all. I mean, he was actually great at his studies. It was entirely about this super frustrating conversational roadblock. Okay, let's dive right into this blueprint. Today, we're looking at 1. The perfect comeback problem. 2. The amygdala hijack explained. 3. Sharpening your mental axe. 4. Physical tools for vocal fluency. 5. Building your mental database. And finally, 6. The safe zone strategy. Starting with Section 1, the perfect comeback problem, let's look at why we go blank under pressure. So when you're confronting a high authority figure or facing a really critical argument, your confidence just takes a sharp nosedive. And here's the thing, you aren't just blanking out. You are actually experiencing a totally chaotic flood of overthinking. You're desperately trying to understand what the other person is saying while simultaneously trying to control your own awkward body language, actively searching for the right words, and on top of all that, constantly fearing judgment. This massive overload of random thoughts completely short-circuits your brain's wiring. So a blank mind isn't just you being awkward, it's literally a system crash. Moving to Section 2, the amygdala hijack explained. This is the science behind the silence. Believe it or not, there's a strict psychological diagnosis for this exact problem. It's called the amygdala hijack. Basically, this is a response to extreme pressure where your prefrontal cortex, which is the logical, rational center of your brain, literally just powers off temporarily. Under stress, your brain actually thinks it's in physical danger, completely shutting down your ability to articulate clear thoughts and shoving you straight into fight, flight, or freeze mode. And in this case, well, you freeze. So you aren't stupid. Your brain's logic center is just temporarily out of office. So what's the very first prescription to fix this hardware glitch? Well, you've got to step into the arena. You need to intentionally put yourself in uncomfortable situations to gradually train your brain to handle the pressure. Try volunteering to answer questions in class, or participate in debates, practice in public speaking, or honestly, just playfully debate with your friends. By exposing yourself to manageable stress, you're teaching your brain that it is safe. Over time, your overthinking goes down, the prefrontal cortex stays online, and your confidence really starts to build. And this brilliantly illustrates our next point. Section 3, sharpening your mental axe. Time to upgrade your mental hardware. Imagine you're trying to chop down a massive, thick tree. If you're using a rusty axe, it's going to be incredibly slow, completely exhausting, and give you basically zero confidence that you can actually fell that tree, right? But a sharp axe, that makes the exact same job fast and effortless. Well, your brain is the exact same way. Before you can successfully practice speaking and delivering those immediate logical replies, you need a sharp mind to actually generate those replies instantly, rather than, 3 hours later in the shower. So how do you actually sharpen it? Welcome to the brain gym. Come on, let's get that mind working. Just like you lift weights for your muscles, you really need to work out your mind to keep it active, alert, and fully capable of generating those AI-like savage replies automatically. The creator highly recommends playing chess, which is brilliant, by the way, because it builds a super strict habit of analyzing the board before you react. You could also do Sudoku, crossword puzzles, solve a Rubik's Cube, or seriously, even just do basic daily math in your head. These are literal gym workouts for your brain, keeping your cognitive reflexes lightning fast. Another fantastic mental workout is to just constantly ask yourself questions. Things like, why is this like this? What's another solution? If you genuinely want to push your logical thinking to the absolute next level, challenge yourself to question mundane daily situations.
It trains your brain to think dynamically and critically right on the fly. Which brings us to Section 4, Physical Tools for Vocal Fluency. Let's upgrade your delivery. Look, a sharp mind is completely useless if your words come out slow, confused, muffled, or just with incredibly low energy. If people can't hear you clearly, they're going to stop taking you seriously. So here is a crazy effective, mechanical, 15-minute daily routine that actual actors and public speakers use to upgrade their delivery. Step 1, hold a pen horizontally between your teeth and try speaking simple sentences out loud. Step 2, consciously exaggerate your mouth and jaw movements while you're speaking normally. I know, it might feel totally silly at first, but once you remove that pen and speak again, you will notice a sudden, massive improvement in your vocal clarity, strength, and speed. It's like magic. All right, Section 5, building your mental database, training your brain's AI. Think of it like this. Your brain is an incredibly powerful AI processor, but it absolutely needs to be fed the right examples to generate witty replies. You literally cannot output what you haven't inputted, so you need to go on a strict content diet. From watching debates, you extract how people initially respond and logically frame their points when they're under fire. From charismatic celebrity interviews, like Shah Rukh Khan, for example, you can absorb their confidence, their timing, and that smooth use of real-life examples. Watch stand-up comedians to learn punchline setups, and observe great public speakers to master those powerful pauses and how they use emotion to hook an audience. So, the crucial point here is you cannot just passively consume this content while mindlessly eating popcorn on the couch. No way. You have to actively observe, watch specifically for body language, emotions, and pauses. You've got to study these 3 traits consciously so you can actually extract them, download them right into your mental database, and then apply them directly to your own real-life conversations. Let's move to our final strategy and see how this all builds together. Section 6, the safe zone strategy, deploying your new skills safely. All right, we've reached the final rule, and honestly, this one is absolutely vital to prevent you from completely face-planting while trying to be quick-witted. You have to avoid danger zones at first. These are your high-stakes situations. Think heated arguments, first dates, or talking to big authority figures. If you stumble here right out of the gate, you'll probably get embarrassed and just quit. Instead, start in the safe zones. These are low-stakes environments, like joking around with close friends, casual family chats, or even literally just talking to a mirror. Practice where awkwardness has 0 consequences. That way, when a high-stakes moment inevitably arrives, your brain is fully trained, warmed up, and completely ready to go. I want to leave you with this really powerful quote that summarizes everything in our explainer today. Communication isn't an innate talent. It is a learnable, step-by-step mechanical skill. I absolutely love this because it is just so incredibly empowering. You are not stuck with the communication skills you have right now. Your brain's hardware and its software can absolutely be upgraded. You just have to put in the reps. Which brings us to our final question for you today. What is the very first safe zone you're going to step into today to test out your newly sharpened mental axe? Are you going to practice that pen drill? Are you going to start actively observing comedians? Whatever it is, get out there, step into a safe zone, start practicing, and you will absolutely never have to wait 3 hours for that perfect comeback ever again.